Hello folks, welcome to my guide on Tytalos. He is the hardest Guardian raid of Tier 1 because he is the first to have a one-shot mechanic, until Smilegate nerfed it from a white mechanic to a high damage attack. But here's the full guide either way, which will help you defeat him without paying gold for a carry. And if you find this video useful, hit that like button to help me back. I will cover the one-shot mechanic first, since it is the most important one. I'm still gonna call this his one-shot attack in this video. For this attack, Tytalos will channel energy for several seconds, then release it, doing a very high damage to anyone within 2 screen lengths away. There are 3 ways to avoid this attack, as well as a tail to let you know when the attack is coming. The intended method is to touch the sand cyclones he summons and get 3 stacks of the debuff. This will petrify you, making you immune to all damage for about 4 to 5 seconds. To prevent you from getting this debuff all the time, turning to stone once will prevent you from getting the status again for 30 seconds. Besides this debuff, there are 2 more ways to avoid this attack. The obvious one is to run far away enough to not get hit. This can be done when you know the attack is coming, but if you are next to the boss when it starts to channel, you will most likely get hit unless you have multiple dashes. And the third way is to drop down a ladder. Sliding down will instantly put you out of harm's way. However, this doesn't work in all situations since you need to be near a ladder in the first place, and it needs to be going down. Climbing up a ladder will take too long and you'll get hit midway through. The same goes for the zip lines. If you don't use it fast enough, you'll still get hit. The most reliable way to avoid this attack are methods 1 and 2. And to make these methods easier, here is the tail for when the boss will be using his one-shot ability. It's the Earthquake attack. He does this very low damage attack that can't be dodged, but after he uses this attack, the one-shot will happen in 15 seconds after he uses about 2 or 3 more abilities. Most of the time it's 3 abilities, but it can be shortened to 2 if you kite him around for a bit or if he uses the stand wave attack, which takes a long time. Once you see him use his second ability after the Earthquake, grab a stack of the debuff by touching a sand cyclone. This will let you prepare for the 3 stacks a lot faster, and if you accidentally have the immunity, then start running away. You should keep the boss on the edge of your screen to confirm that he is starting the one-shot attack first. Now that we took care of his most dangerous attack, let's breeze through his other abilities. Here are the sand cyclones I mentioned earlier. He will summon 2 of them, which last pretty much the entire fight. They will slowly chase a random player and does not do much damage. They are mainly there to put a stacking debuff on you, which will petrify you at 3 stacks and let you immune through the one-shot mechanic. If you are soloing, these can be annoying to kite, so I prefer to just take the debuff when they spawn so I can ignore them for the next 30 seconds, and just run away when the one-shot comes. The other ability related to the one-shot is Earthquake. It does very little damage around the boss and starts a 15-second timer for the one-shot ability. He will usually use 3 other short abilities, then cast the one-shot. But if you kite the boss around for a long time, or he ends up using the stand wave attack, which takes a long time to finish channeling and casting, then he'll do less than 3 attacks. Regardless of 2 or 3, the boss will start the one-shot after 15 seconds from using Earthquake. Just keep a mental note when Earthquake is used, and get ready to run away or get petrified after 2 attacks from the boss. Now for the more normal attacks. Like always, there is a blue counterable attack that the boss does. This one is a charge with a short window to counter. Once he starts running, it's too late to stop it. If you are already positioned in front of the boss, then you should be able to land a quick counter. Tytalos has a claw swipe attack that we have seen many times. It does low damage and hits twice. The first hit will stagger and the second hit will knock you up. Ground Slam is one of his 2 cone attacks that targets in front of him. It covers a wide angle but has a slow startup. When you see him get on his hind legs, quickly get to his side or behind him. Getting hit will deal moderate damage and knock you away. His breath attack is the other cone. It comes out quicker than the ground slam, but the angle is much more narrow. You can also stand under his chin to avoid the breath entirely. Like the other attack, this does average damage and knocks you up if you get hit. He usually won't do the sand waves until later in the fight. Tytalos will stand still and summon a handful of waves that travel in a straight line. They move pretty slow, so look for gaps or safe spots that the waves won't travel to, and use that time to keep hitting the boss. It's a very good window to attack if you get to a safe spot early. Now for the circle attacks. The first one is a large circle that will silence you. When you see the ring indicator, dash away immediately. Getting hit will silence you for several seconds, stopping you from using any ability or even dash. This is a pretty big DPS loss, so try to avoid it. His other circle attack are sand eruptions. Tytalos will slam the ground 3 times, spawning 3 waves of eruptions. They do decent damage and will knock you in the air. If you are unlucky, you might get juggled and take hits from multiple eruptions. For this attack, focus on running around and dodging all 3 waves instead of attacking the boss. A dead DPS does no DPS, and this attack usually kills the most players aside from his one-shot. Finally, his last ability is another circle. This time, he places a summoning circle on the ground that will stay there for a long time. This sigil will summon 2 bombs at a time, and they will chase down nearby players and explode, similar to the survive levels in the tower and cube. Getting hit by both bombs will kill most squishy classes, and they can be a little hard to see. To stop the summons, have one player stand inside the circle. This will prevent the bombs from spawning. You can also put down a turret from an artillerist or a harp from a bard to stop the bombs from spawning for a short while. And that's all the attacks from Tytalos. Besides the one-shot mechanic, the rest of the boss isn't that hard. I hope this guide is able to help you clear Tier 1. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my boss guides for Tier 2.